Let's talk about Monarchy 2.0. Monarchy 2.0. I know you kind of mentioned it's like it's not even like that. It's much worse, significantly worse. I don't know how many people know this, but back in the day, kings were ordained by
God.
By God. They
Even
were
now,
chosen.
The Queen of England is ordained by God.
Good point. They are chosen by, a higher power to rule. And that's kind of what I meant by the Monarchy 2.0, because it feels like, just take a look at this. Just in, Vatican enters into a global alliance with Rothschild, Rockefeller, Ford Foundation, MasterCard, Bank of America, and others through the new Council for Inclusive Capitalism.
Oh my God.
To create a more inclusive, sustainable, and trusted economic system. I'm sorry, what now?
What? This is terrifying. I used to think
this is terrifying.
It is like I like in all these spiritual circles that I run in. Like I remember years ago when I first got into them, people would talk about this new world order stuff and how all these elites are conspiring against us. And I would always look at them and be like, you're crazy. Like, that's not actually happening, but it is. Like, Rothschild and Rockefeller, these are like two of the elitist families, like, on the globe, and they're conspiring with the Pope and all these other people for inclusive capitalism. Capitalism is completely inclusive already. Anyone can start a business. Literally,
exactly.
Anyone can start a business. It is the most inclusive thing in the world.
Well, not if you're convinced that you're a victim and capitalism is preventing you from becoming successful because only socialism will work and communism. So it's like they don't realize that all they have to do is work. You gotta work. If you want a successful business, you gotta do some work. That's it. It's that easy. You know what I'm doing? I started 3 businesses since I parted ways from that other show. And I'm so happy. I got a bunch of things brewing. I got stuff I can't even talk about, but I can't wait to tell you. But I'm not going to tell you because I'm busy working on it to make it a reality. So when it becomes reality, I could be like, boom, I just did that. Check it out. Boom.
Yeah.
I'm not just trying to abuse the capitalistic system. I'm trying to make a living for myself so I can have children and think about the future. Nobody's thinking about the future. They're entitled. They want their old PS4 to run a brand new game and complain about it. That's what they're focused on. Like, oh my goodness. Well,
and I'll tell you what, I just got into an argument last night with someone on Twitter, as I am prone to do on Twitter. And that never happened.
You got on a fight? You got in a fight on Twitter?
On Twitter. Like, it never happens, I know. But so they were basically telling me, like, I said something like, okay, the pandemic started in March. You've had now several months of working from home in which you could have started a business, you could have pivoted whatever you were doing to be online. I mean, it's not a perfect scenario, but there are plenty of options that people have. And like, then that in capitalism give you those options, like start a flipping online business. This is not this is not an insurmountable obstacle. And they came back to me, they're like, well, Carlin, my business just evaporated overnight. I was like, dude, in 2019, I made the bulk of my money from doing in-person facilitations, in-person retreats, and in-person keynote speeches. That was the bulk of my money. I had more business booked out for 2020 than I had ever had in my career. I had a ton of business booked out. It disappeared like that in a flash. And then on top of it, I had a little socialist cancel mob come after me to try to destroy the remaining business relationships I had left. My career completely pivoted between February and even in June, frankly, because it wasn't take that long. I completely pivoted every part of my business, every part of my career, just because I wanted to work for it. Like, I am not special. I'm not. Adam, you're not special.
I know that.
Anyone can do anything that anyone else can do. All you
Agreed, 100%.
All you need is to want to work for it.
Yep. And you got to maintain it.
Yeah.
You got to actually go work for it. You got to want it and go get it.
I don't want to get up every day and make YouTube videos. I'm sure there are days you have to do this show. You're like, I don't even want to do this anymore. And it's work. It's hard work, but
it's getting more and more fun, honestly, for me.
Oh, it can be a ton of fun. And I don't want to complain because poor us, we complain on the internet. But like, but I mean, still.
I try not to complain. I try not to complain. I don't like to complain. I always try to, tend to be more on the complaining side of things.
I like to
That's
think of
okay.
it as ranting. I need to get a good rant. I need to
Now,
get out
I
of my
do rant.
system.
I rant. That is absolutely definitely true for me. All right, I wanna stay on this subject because it's pretty insane. All right, now everyone knows Babylon Bee. Babylon Bee is fantastic. I love Babylon Bee. They ride the truth so close, but they're satire. Now, Babylon Bee actually has a site called Not the Bee that actually has true stuff that seems like it could be satire because that's the world we live in right now. And actually, they break down this whole thing with the Vatican so beautifully.
Oh
I
my
gotta give them props. Like, my goodness. I'm just gonna read this out because this is incredible. All right. Pope Francis forms shadow council of top global capitalists to solve the problems of capitalism. Right off the bat, they're just killing it. And this is the tweet that I just read for you guys. All right, so this is from Joel Abbott. This is just so money though. All right, I know what you're thinking, but this is real. This thing actually happened, and this is what I just read to you earlier. Again, I know it sounds like something straight out of the Da Vinci Code, but this is a real news story from the wackiest year in world history. Nailing it. Even Forbes asked whether this is real, and for the third time, I must insist this is an actual thing. The super woke Pope, with his march towards full-blown communism and pantheism accelerated past Mach 3, has decided to address the difference between the rich and the poor by utilizing bad economic policies that overwhelmingly hurt the poor while making the wealthy even wealthier. Instead of promoting sound free market principles that have lifted billions out of poverty over the last century, billions. That's true. Side note, we've lifted more people out of poverty in the past 15 years than the entirety of human civilization. Let that sink in. Anyway, I'm going to continue reading here. Let's see. The Pope has decided to double down on his extraordinary historical ignorance and economic malfeasance by creating the Council for Inclusive Capitalism to fix all of our woes. And here's a quote. The world is rich, and yet the number of poor people is swelling all around us, says the illustrious Francis, which is not true, by the way. Hundreds of millions of people are struggling in extreme poverty. That actually may still be true. I'm not saying that that's not true. And are lacking food and housing, healthcare, schooling, electricity, and drinkable water. Yeah, there still is poverty out there. You know what else there is out there also? Slavery. No one's talking about that. Millions of slaves still exist in this world. Slave labor still exists. All right. No one's talking about that. All right. I don't want to say no one because I'm talking about it. I know people that around me, other people on YouTube that are talking about it. Sorry, I got to stop myself from ranting because a lot of this stuff kind of.
You just said you didn't complain, and now you're going down the complaining path.
Ranting. I'm ranting.
It's different.
I'm ranting. Right. No,
okay.
It's different. All right. There are a few. We continue reading here. There are a few reasons why the rich seem to be getting richer. One of those is trillions of dollars of the ultra rich have made off the pandemic, and more specifically, lockdowns that Francis has supported. Francis also glosses over the active oppression of despotic, evil regimes who will do anything to maintain power over billions of citizens they effectively enslave in police states. See, Pope Francis wants you to believe that capitalism itself is the enemy, not those who would twist market towards immoral, perverse ends. Thus, we have this elusive council. Instead of working through local churches to connect with local business owners and average people, and maybe preaching the gospel for a change, he's going to fix the world's wealth inequality by working with the richest global business executives. I'm sure that'll work. This is just like a career politician named Joe being the man to clean up Washington. And then, of course, there's a great laugh of Ricky Gervais because it is laughable that and you see the swamp that he's trying to bring in, right?
Oh my God, it's insane. It's insane.
Oh,
but I have to say, I do love that it's pissing off the progressives. That's like ridiculous. The silver lining to this whole affair.
I guess. I mean, are they really shocked? maybe they are.
I
Are
think
they?
that they are. I really think that they thought they were going to have more of a seat at the table. I think that
It's
they're
pretty
really
sad.
angry. And it's like, you couldn't see this coming. Trump was always closer to Bernie Sanders than Biden was. And this is the
Yep,
thing.
that's
It's like,
true.
I don't understand why Bernie's base just didn't come and like get on. I understand why some of them didn't get on the Trump train. But
Yeah.
if you actually care about policy, Trump's a populist.
Yep.
Biden is not, never has been.
It's true. It's true. I mean, look, they basically continue, but that's what this is. All right, all of this. They talk about Forbes a little bit more. We don't need to get into the details of this. The fact remains, though, so many people do not understand economics, and the world works through economics. Politics aside, if you don't have a base knowledge of economics, I still am learning about economics. Okay, Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell should be a must read. Now, I haven't read it yet. I'm working on a few other books at the moment, but it's a must. I actually saw a joke. Someone posted a picture. I don't remember where I saw that, but it was a gun case inside the book Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell. They said the socialist will never find this gun.
That's hilarious.
And
That's
I
funny.
thought that was hilarious.